What's popping y'all? Welcome back to another YouTube video, and today we are doing a other film review. First, before we start, we might notice that this isn't my voice. I have been very busy, and my voice has gone, so for now I will be using this voice, but these words are all mine. It is still all my own thoughts and opinions, just not my voice saying them. I once again apologize for the inconvenience, and with that out of the way, we can jump straight into the review. Today I'm watching Marvel Zombies, a Disney Plus exclusive Halloween event for 2025. It's got 4 episodes at half an hour each, so you can watch it in about 2 hours, easily finished in a day and regular Marvel movie length. I really enjoyed the What If episode of Marvel Zombies, so I hope this lived up to the hype, giving it more time to develop the dimension. So let's dodge the walkers and see what Google has to say about Marvel Zombies. It has a 7/10 on IMDb and 66% on Rotten Tomatoes. A new generation of Marvel heroes battle against an ever-spreading zombie scourge. So to get into the series, we have to understand what the series is. It's a Marvel comic book adaptation where the zombies have the powers of the heroes, and we see some unique individuals who manage to survive and try to cure the world. We start the show with a jump scare. The intro is obnoxiously loud for no reason and did make me jump. The episode opens with whom you expect the main characters to be Kamala, Kate, and Riri. However, that's not what you get, as they get killed off in the first 20 minutes of episode 1. Subverting our expectations and showing this is a show not afraid to pull punches. It's not a dark show where we don't see people get eaten. They die off screen, but it's still not afraid to kill off some key members of the Avengers. It's not that scary either. We have a few jump scares, but as this was Marvel's Halloween event of 2025, I expected it to be a little more scary or have some more threat. It's a unique zombie type. As well, we don't often see zombies maintaining their human jobs. After turning so, them being able to use superpowers makes them a bigger threat. But I don't think it's used to its scariest potential. There is so many different horrifying scenes they could have made, but chose not to appeal to a more child audience. There's a lot of humor to the show. Very slapstick and basic Maku humor you come to expect from the Maku. It's quite boring and takes away from the tense zombie idea they are trying to make. They use their powers a lot, which is easier because it's an animated show, so it gives them more freedom, but it is lacking in the horror factor. It's a very unique dynamic, and the first time in MCU where we have the Young Avengers. It's a unique dynamic and very interesting to see these characters who we have never seen interact come together and work as a team. There are a lot of modern mainline characters of the new era taking center stage. It's okay, but I wish we could have gotten more variation with the character selection. We also see Blade making his MCU appearance after his movie got canceled, but he's got the Moon Knight powers. Speaking of people we haven't seen in a while, we have Icarus from the Eternals fighting against zombie Captain Marvel. It's very exciting to see Icarus here, because in this universe it means he didn't fly into the sun. Again, making it a different universe to the main lane 616 Maku. Continuing the multiverse saga and making it so they have creative freedom over what they want and give us some unique character interactions we wouldn't normally get in the movies. Also, because it's not in the main line, they can kill off characters whenever they want to and not be restricted. It's just so unique and a type of show we don't get too often. It's got the same art style as What If, which is the show this originated from, as Marvel Zombies got 1 episode in season 1 of What If. I've reviewed all the seasons of What If on the channel, so you can go and watch that after this video. It's the most popular episode of What If. I do believe, and Scarlet Witch, or also known as Mother of the Dead, is the main villain who fights in multiple What If episodes, and she takes up the mantle of main villain here as well. They try to build her up throughout the show, with Kamala having dreams of her haunting and controlling an army, but it just doesn't hit. It's a massive miss. She isn't a treating villain, She is supposed to be a specific multiversal being where only one of her exists, but she is here in every universe. We get a Captain America Bonnie moment where he's crawling through the vents. There's a lot of self-sacrifice in the show where characters stay behind to hold off the horde. So as we get introduced to new characters, we also see a few of them get left behind. Episode 2 has the coldest opening in the whole series with how the zombie apocalypse started, and they are always the coolest action-packed, fast-paced scenes in media. And it's so cool watching characters run and try and survive. But unfortunately, it was only a 5-minute scene. We had giant zombies as the animal lab was overrun, and it was so cool seeing much more threat than in the first episode. Then, from 5 mins to 5 years, as we have a time skip of 5 years since the zombies started. We then have a Mad Max ripoff. I wish I could have liked the Mad Max ripoff, but it was just so goofy and had the silliest characters in it. Some aren't even MCU. They are just random civilians who make it to the main team and were used for earning fodder later in the show. As Shang Kai, Jimmy Woo, and Aquafina, yes, Aquafina is in this series, and she is a main character. Ike, what deal she has with Disney, but it's wild. She is in literally everything. One of the very few original voice actors of the MCU characters as well. John Walker and Baron Zemo was a duo I wasn't expecting and wish we had more of. It's quite a good pairing. Shame, it didn't last long as Namor ripped him in half. Red Guardian has the most trauma in the show and loses all his daughters in this show, just like Hopper loses his kids in Stranger Things, and he loses them in the mainline MCU too. There is a special calm that we see when characters sacrifice themselves that I don't think I'd ever be able to do. They give their life for the team, and they are just so chill. Obviously, they can do nothing about it, and they know they are going to die. It's just so strange to see a calm face when the end is so close. I'd be crying and screaming, but I'd sacrifice myself for the team. My mom didn't raise a quitter. However, she raised a complainer, but no quitter, so I'll do it, but I will bitch and you'll know about it. The Red Guardian does have some issues with grief, but is quickly washed away because of a pep talk, so we can speed up the story and talk to Valkyrie. Episode 3, we see Thanos to the Watcher and Spider-Man in a 5-year flashback. Yet again, another time Thanos was taken out so easily by Spider-Man and Black Panther. Continuing their episode from What If, we see Groot and Rocket. I really didn't expect to see them, and I was so devastated when they were killed almost instantly by Thanos, which pissed me off. I love Rocket and Groot, so killing them off was a slap in my face. Thor also got murked again, showing how powerful Thanos is, but not at the same time. Spider-Man caught us up with his story again, showing us what happened, but with Spider-Man narrating it. It would have been better if he narrated the end, and we saw it for what actually happened. The Green Bull from Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, who got a Funko Pop giant and keychain, and a lot of other merch when they had 5 seconds of screen time, was here leading the sources. They don't show up for the rest of the episode till the start of episode 4, where they end up teaming with our other heroes and working together to save the world. We finally see Khonshu after so long, but only Valkyrie and Blade can see him taking a cool moment into a silly laughing stock. We get a D&D reference again, continuing a shitty joke, after another taking away all the threats and suspense. We have a lackluster betrayal from Wander as she discussed a load of zombie parts and transformed all the Asgardians into zombies. It was obvious she wasn't there to be friendly, and she is a villain, she is always a villain. Alexei had a comedic death as he was also eating the food and slowly turned into a zombie, not managing to honor his daughters and being the deadbeat disappointment he always has. Jimmy and the debt dealer died in Asgard, and we had it as Jimmy sealed their fate, saying that you were always there for me when I needed you. Something you should never say when in a fight, as it seals you to an early grave. It is just predictable at this point. I'm expecting people to die, and it's just basic. I think the season is too short for the story they are trying to tell. Yes, it's a MCU project, so they have access to everyone, but they try, and do too much in the little time they have. 2 hours instead, a lot of time to give everyone the screen time they deserve. Thor gets overrun by zombies as he's filled with guilt and has no motivation like he has in the Endgame movie. And he has a badass return again, fighting off all the zombies, and Wanda yet again. She is just too powerful, showing that Thor dies failing to do what he sets out to do again. Thor never manages to defeat anyone in this universe and get his honor back. It's sad to see that Thor is such an interesting character who has been shrunk down to a joke throughout the whole MCU. He hasn't been the powerful god since Ragnarok. The Nova Corps just arrived as soon as they pushed the button to quarantine the zombie outbreak and didn't want to help, just needed to keep it inside the planet. It's a good twist to have the Nova Corps want to help and double the MCU counterpart, as we expect them to do nothing as they always have. So they understand the characters. They just don't have the time to flesh everyone out, so they get killed off. Kamala and Blade are the most interesting as they have been here the whole time. Episode 4 gives us more problems than just zombies, as we have Infinity Stones to worry about like we always have in Marvel. These rocks are always a cause of problems. There is an Infinity Storm that only the Hulk can contain. Yes, the Hulk, big green dude, if only he was this important in the main MCU. Hulk becomes a bottle of unstoppable infinity energy. We get a flashback of motivation for Kamala to go on and go into battle with Spider-Man, but it's not as emotionally impactful as we didn't get to know these characters too well. And it's not the MCU, so we know they're not dead. We just don't have the connection to this version of them, and they should be more gritty and serious, as they are in an end-of-the-world situation. But no, they keep them the same, so it doesn't give us anything we haven't seen. It feels stale and boring because it's the same character, just unique situations and interactions. Seeing a more worn-down Spider-Man with no hope and struggling to survive for 5 years would have been so cool. But no, it's just MCU Peter Parker with a cool cape. There is so many changes that could have been made to make it a more interesting watch. Blade and Hulk are the only two to have any real changes made to them, and Blade isn't even the MCU. Animation peaked with the Hulk fight, as we saw the collision of colors compared to the gray and tan we've seen all the way through, giving some very nice 2D effects, and a cool new Hulk design. However, he gets his ass handed to him by all the zombies. He cannot win, not even with all the infinity power. It should be easy for him to win. He has all the power and he's fighting mortals. The power scaling just feels off here, and like they die because the writers want them to, not because it's how the character is. Seeing Hulk get bested by guns is such a letdown, as he should be the strongest being ever right now. I did get goosebumps when they all came out of the strange portal. It was very cool. Blade had the coldest part of the fight. I'd how the Ant-Man head was doing just as much as Spider-Man, but oh well. Spider-Man was doing mad moves, pulling zombie heads off. Some of these moments did go hard, I will admit. This is where we see the zombies use their powers to the full. It's giving us what we've been waiting for the whole show. But for like 5 mins, however, it gets ruined with Spider-Man making a "why you hitting yourself?" Once again, ruining the moment. I wish we could have just been serious for a few moments as we see the living see the zombies of their dead friends. This could have had a massive impact on the characters having to defeat their friends and know that they are really gone. It just wasn't explored. They just fight them like any other zombie. I expected them to win, as we have seen the whole show be so predictable and boring. So as everyone is in the final fight, as you have a slight feeling they are going to lose, as everything is going downhill. Spider-Man gets his head bitten off. Ant-Man gets his dome smashed, and Ahang Kai finally goes full zombie. Kamala accepts the hand of Wanda, making a massive, beautiful, colorful explosion, and she wakes up, and no one remembers anything. Basically removing the zombie virus from the timeliness, but we see flashes of Eeriely telling Kamala it's not real, and bang, end. What? The ending was crazy. I know I've been sitting on this the whole show, but damn, that twist ending wasn't what I was expecting at all. Having Kamala not in a dream world. Honestly, an ending I wasn't expecting, and it gives so much mystery of why Wanda did it, and leaves it open for a season 2 of how Kamala saves the day. The ending definitely saved this show. I really wasn't feeling it till the last scene. It's a solid 6/10. A very good send-off with good action and a whole lot of consequences to end the off with. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Other than that, I think that wrapped it up, and I'll see you all in the next one. Have a nice day, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay home and stay safe. What's popping y'all? Welcome back to another YouTube video, and today we are doing a other film review. First, before we start, we might notice that this isn't my voice. I have been very busy, and my voice has gone, so for now I will be using this voice, but these words are all mine. It is still all my own thoughts and opinions, just not my voice saying them. I once again apologize for the inconvenience,